Because we've had a year of the corrupt corporate media and Democrats claiming anyone who objected to the election fraud. And by the way, remember what was happening during those protests?
Can I just ask, hold on, you work in the I guess I just don't believe you. And I mean that with respect, because I have such respect.
Wow, he didn't, still not enough. Not enough. He was getting close, too. You could tell, like, Tucker was already like, oh, that's true. That's true. You do stand up for police. Okay, this is good. This is, oh, okay. Woman, no, you still said it. You still said it, and it hurt me. It hurt all of us. How could you, Ted? I don't know if you all know about this, but yesterday Ted Cruz had to do this thing where he goes onto Tucker Carlson's show and apologizes for using a very spicy term. The term was a T word. I don't know if I can say the T word. It's probably going to be something that gets me censored, but it's terrorists. He called the January 6th insurrectionists terrorists. He had the audacity to do such a thing, and now has to pay penance. He has to kiss the ring, lick the boot, style the hair, clean the ears. Yes, he is now going to become Tucker Carlson's Q-tip for the next 5 minutes, and I am certainly here for this. This is going to be an international incident, as it is, of course, Tucker Carlson condescending to a Canadian diplomat, but here we are.
So we played this tape for you last night. We were surprised by it. We prefaced it by saying every conservative appreciates Ted Cruz because he's one of the smartest and most articulate people in the Congress, and he's conservative.
Is he like is that shade? I can't tell. Is that kind of like he's one of the smartest and most articulate, least punchable face? Anyways.
But he referred publicly to what happened on January 6th as, quote, a violent terror attack. Here it is.
We are approaching a solemn anniversary this week. And it is an anniversary of a violent terrorist attack on the Capitol, where we saw the men and women of law enforcement.
Traitor! Sabretooth, how could you do this? Fuck.
Demonstrate incredible courage.
You know what's funny is because, like, you know, these are politicians operating at really high levels. He does have handlers, and he does have a team of people who have looked upon him and been like, okay, so we've workshopped your image a little bit, Mr. Cruz, and people just don't enjoy you a lot. In fact, scientifically, it's been kind of proven that you have a very unlikable face. So we were thinking you could grow some facial hair, and then you could kind of just use it as a mask, if it was such a thing, kind of cover it up. And then you did it. And now that you've got that going for you, it's also not working. So we're not entirely sure what to do next. Maybe we could dye it gold, and people will just think you're kind of like a shiny ornament, like a Christmas tree.
Incredible bravery. Risk their lives to defend the men and women who serve in this Capitol.
Senator Cruz was game enough to come on tonight. We appreciate that. He joins us now. Senator, thanks so much for coming on. So I guess there are a lot of dumb people in the Congress. You're not one of them. I think you're smarter than I am. And you never use words carelessly. And yet you called this a terror attack when by no definition was it a terror attack. That's a lie. You told that lie on purpose, and I'm wondering why you did.
Wait, by no definition? Was that not the FBI's official stance? I'm going to look this up while they're talking. But I bet it is. Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Well, Tucker, thank you for having me on. When you aired your episode last night, I sent you a text shortly thereafter and said, listen, I'd like to go on because the way I phrased things yesterday, it was sloppy and it was frankly dumb. And
I don't buy that. Whoa. I don't buy that. Look, I've known you a long time, since before you went to the Senate. You were...
Okay. We got the official thing here. The FBI classified the attack as domestic terrorism, and the Congressional Research Service also concluded that the attack appeared to meet the federal definition of domestic terrorism. On the English Wikipedia, there were several disputes amongst the site's volunteer editors as to what terminology should be used to describe the event. Cool story. But anyways, that's the FBI classification of it. So, I mean, I hate to give Cruz kudos. In fact, I hate nothing more, but I gotta do it here.
Supreme Court contender. You take words as seriously as any man who's ever served in the Senate. And every word you repeated that phrase. I do not believe that you used that accidentally. I just don't.
So, Tucker, as a result of my sloppy phrasing, it's caused a lot of people to misunderstand what I meant. Let me tell you what I meant to say. What I was referring to are the limited number of people who engaged in violent attacks against police officers. Now, I think you and I both agree that if you assault a police officer, you should go to jail. That's who I was talking about. And the reason the phrasing was sloppy is I have talked dozens, if not hundreds of times. I've drawn a distinction. I wasn't saying that the thousands of peaceful protesters supporting Donald Trump are somehow terrorists. I wasn't saying the millions of patriots across the country supporting President Trump are terrorists. And that's what a lot of people have misunderstood that comment.
Wait a second, but wait, but hold on. What you just said doesn't make sense. So if somebody assaults a cop, he should be charged and go to jail. I couldn't agree more. We've said that for years. But that person's still not a terrorist. How many people have been charged with terrorism on January 6th? Like, why'd you use that word? You're playing into the other side's characterization that, as Joe Kent just explained, allows them to define an entire population as foreign combatants. And you know that. So why'd you do it?
So Tucker, let me answer you directly.
Wow, so much penance. He's not letting him get away from this one, eh? It's like, why? Why did you say that? Repent.
The reason I use that word, for a decade, I have referred to people who violently assault police officers as terrorists. I've done so over and over and over again. If you look at all the
it was just a gut reaction. He had a PewDiePie moment, you know, kind of a gamer moment. It's just like he sees someone assault a cop and he's like, terrorist, and that's the first thing that comes to his mind. Okay.
The assaults we've seen across the country, I've called that terrorism over and over again. That being said, Tucker, I agree with you. It was a mistake to say that yesterday, and the reason is what you just said, which is we've now had a year of Democrats in the media twisting words and trying to say that all of us are terrorists.
See, right there, now he's doing that thing where he's like, and I agree with you. Here, give me a couple opportunities to shit on Democrats. That'll please you, right? But we'll see if Tucker takes it. We'll see if this is enough.
Trying to say, you're a terrorist, I'm a terrorist. And so, look, I don't like people who assault cops. And I stand up and defend cops.
Oh, of course. You're right. I'm sorry. I misspoke. I know. We're on the same page here.
And the reason I use that word is that's the word I've always used for people that violently attack cops. But in this context, I get why people were angry, because we've had a year of the corrupt corporate media and Democrats claiming anyone who objected to the election fraud. And by the way, remember what was happening during those protests.
Can I just ask, hold on, you work in the I guess I just don't believe you. And I mean that with respect, because I have such respect.
Wow, he didn't, still not enough. Not enough. He was getting close too. You could tell, like Tucker was already like, oh, that's true. You do stand up for police. Okay, this is good. This is, oh, okay. Woman, no, you still said it. And it hurt me. It hurt all of us. How could you, Ted?
For your acuity and your precision. And I've seen it on display. I've covered you as a reporter. I know how you speak. And you have sat there for a year and watched people use language to distort the events of that day. Intentionally. Insurrection. Coup.
Of course it
terrorism.
Wasn't an insurrection. Saying it's an insurrection is a political term. It's a lie. I've repeatedly denounced it. And when it comes to, look, I was focusing on what I normally say. That what you aired was a little 15-second snippet. What I normally say is violence is wrong, peaceful protest is right. If you engage in violence, you should be prosecuted. If you're speaking, you have a right to speak. I say that all the time.
Well, I
didn't
and I
say
agree.
It in that snippet.
So who's Ray Epps, by the way, since you are a senator? Like, he and this other guy are clearly encouraging the crowd to commit crimes. Neither one has been arrested or charged. What is that, do you think?
So I think that is a very good question. I don't know who Ray Epps is. I've seen that video multiple times. It's disturbing. He's clearly urging the crowd to violate the law. When you see the crowd start chanting, Fed, 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 for him to appear on the FBI's most wanted list and come off, it certainly suggests...
I'm so curious, does he get prepped before this? Is he like, okay, so you're going to come on and I'm just going to let you have it, okay? Just you got to give me like at least 3-4 minutes, just whatever you say. I'm just going to come at you real hard, but you know this is coming, right? Because you fucked up. You said the T word. You shouldn't have said that to American patriots, heroes, really, right? You should have called them heroes. Anyways, we'll do that. And then afterwards, I want you to spin the whole thing and say kind of like, oh, it seems kind of sussy, you know, that kind of stuff. We'll go with that angle.
He was working for the FBI. That's not conclusive, but that's the obvious implication. and the Attorney General and the Department of Justice won't answer the question. Tucker, I can tell you, I joined with a number of other senators trying to get the Biden DOJ to answer the question why so many January 6 prisoners are in solitary confinement, why they're being treated so much worse than the Antifa rioters and the people who committed firebombing and a year of riots across the country. And this Biden DOJ won't go after them. But let me also make a quick point, Tucker. Remember, while thousands of people were standing up to defend this country on January 6th, at that exact moment, I was standing on the Senate floor objecting to the election results, demanding that we impanel an election commission to consider evidence of voter fraud. And I brought together 11 senators to join me in supporting getting to the bottom of that. So, of course, it would be ridiculous for me to be saying that the people standing up and protesting to follow the law were somehow terrorists. I was talking about people who commit violence against cops. And you and I both agree, if you commit violence against cops, you should go to jail.
Yeah, but you're not a terrorist. You know? You're a guy who
You know
guy who
what?
assaulted cops. Okay, so there's
Wow. This is such a fucking thing that hinges.
The legal difference, as you well know better than I do, since you were actually in the running for the Supreme Court, and there's a moral difference between a guy.
But Tucker, the reason I use that word is for a decade I've used that word for people that violently assault cops. I use that word all in 2020 for the Antifa.
Are you serious? So, like, literally, if anyone ever assaults a police officer, no matter what the reason is, anything. Wow. Okay, good to know, Ted.
BLM terrorists that assaulted
this person could have been on the Supreme Court, by the way.
cops and firebomb police cars. But I agree, it was a mistake to use the word yesterday because the Democrats and the corporate media have so politicized it. They're trying to paint everyone as a terrorist, and it's a lie.
Exactly.
And by the way, I've spoken out vocally against your exchange you just had. They want to paint us as Nazis. Yes,
I know, it's scary.
That is what they're trying to do. And look, I'm the one leading the fight in the Senate against this garbage. And it's what I have been doing, and it's what I'll continue doing.
Well, I appreciate your coming on tonight.
That's ironic because you're both garbage. Man, yeah, that was some mutual cringing right there. And that's wild. You just got to come on and it's like, I'm not going to let you lose this one. How could you say it? But you still use the words. And they hurt. They hurt me, Ted. They hurt me in my feeling center. Right here. Where my heart should be. Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form. Available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Just, we beseech thee to smite down our enemies. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your humble court jesters, here to amuse you. To our lords, Trevor R., we give thanks for this spit of land for us to eke out this meager existence. To our knights, Merid, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruby Kelly, Ellie Leslie, Alex P., Brandon, Words Greenwood, Nate, that one guy, Hagbird Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Daniel Sutton, Coulter Smith, Val 9000, Jenna Tall, Quiet 185, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, The Tim Caucus, Multi Mondi, Trevor Yanis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojack, Saren 42, Catherine, Radical Maniac, Ramon Acosta, Nkosin, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Josh Mickelson, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our flag in a veil, and we salute you, our friends.